Hello and welcome to the CD-ROM Ancient Egypt. Now this is the second in what I call the history series, the first one being the medieval. And the theme behind here is sort of Ancient Egypt. That's the title, as the clue in there. Now this CD works on both PC and Apple Mac. Simply pop it into your computer and providing you have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed, it will auto run for you. And this is the first page that will come up. On here is the help menu link and also the licensing agreement. So you read through that, and then if you agree with it, click continue, and we come to the main menu. Now for those of you familiar with my CDs, these menus are beginning to become fairly obvious, and what I'd like to do now is just briefly run through with you the contents that we'll find on this particular CD-ROM, and I'm just going to work my way through. Now I'm going to begin with the backing papers, and if I click onto that section there, up come my set of backing papers, and these come in both full colour, tint and grayscales as well. So we can simply click onto those and then hit return, and we can see you've got a wonderful range here of authentic patterns taken from ancient Egypt, and I've recreated these from segments from tombs and papyruses. And this is, as I said, part of the history series because this is based on actual elements that were found in the ancient world, which I've taken the time to rework and bring back up to sort of printable standard for our modern day and age. So everything you see in this particular section is pretty well historically accurate as well, but it gives it a beautiful backdrop to your ancient Egypt card. Now there's 5 sets in here. There's a lot of papers for you, so I'm just going to briefly click onto another one here and just at random choose a paper, full colour, so we can see the sort of thing that's on the CD-ROM for you. So these are our traditional papers there. Now I've also put in what I call alternative papers, and I've based these on images such as the pharaohs, the Sphinx, etc. And as we can see here, they just do make it, I think, a beautiful accompaniment for your card making in both tints and various shades of colour as well. So you have got a lot of variety on this particular CD. And if I just say choose another one here, it's hard to see perhaps on here. We've got everything. It's either on a very simple background or a very slight Hessian, almost sand-like background. But you get here your 8 different papers, a variation on a theme, and from these of course you can now choose from our basic selection here. So it's another little bit of extra for you in there for your card making, and I think they're rather nice and do make for some quite lovely cards. Moving on next to our inserts, and we've got our A5 and our A6 inserts. Simply click on to the one of your choice. Now I've used a typeface here which is text editable. Simply highlight the type and type in your message. If you use Control E, if you're using the PCs, you can then change the typeface and the colour on the CD-ROM as well. But you can type in your message here, and those work for both A5 and A6. If I go pick out an A5 one, again just to note that the A5s do not go to the edge. This is because if you have edge-to-edge printing, it offsets the symmetry of the page anyway. So I've allowed a little gap around here so it will print on any printer regardless of whether or not it has edge-to-edge printing. It will be slightly smaller if you use a full A5 card. Again, I don't have a problem with that. I think they look rather nice. And of course you can trim it down to the card if you need to as well. So those are our inserts, but there's a lot on this CD, so I'm going to move on. Now I've also included special papers as well, and these are a beautiful range of textures that accompany your card making, and I just picked out a few here at random. We've got papyrus. I mean, this is all beautiful stuff. Sand, sandstone, hieroglyphics, bits and pieces that will, I feel, enhance your card making, and they're based on really textures that would have come from the ancient world. So that's another little bonus section which you'll find on the CD-ROM there. Now we've got a fun section here as well. This is the pyramid and mummy card. I've got a template which I've put in here for you to make a pyramid. You can simply print this onto cardboard and cut it out, and then you can see the fold lines, and that will help you make a pyramid card. And this one again is actually done with an image laid over it, which produces the brickwork and stonework of the pyramid. When it's put together, it's quite realistic. Last but not least in this section, I've got a pop-up card for you here. This is a pre-runner to actually one of our pop-up CDs, which will be coming out soon. And this simple part 1 and part 2 with instructions on there, very simple to make. You print this out, and now you will then use that as the front and the back, so that will then be stuck onto the back there, folded in half, and when you open it up, you'll see that the mummy rises up out of the card as well. And you've got text editable insert here, so you can type in happy birthday if you want to, or whatever. So that's a little bit of fun on the CD. Now we've also got the decoupage and toppers, a beautiful selection here. If I click onto the papyrus and stone relief, that takes us to our sub menu here. We'll have a look. And on here I've got a range of papyrus images for you, both large and small. Now these make beautiful cards in their own right. If you want to decoupage them, simply cut them out and then put the elements that you want to on there. These aren't actually arranged as pre-designated decoupage for you. They work beautifully as flat layers. If you do want to decoupage them, then you'll have to print them out and cut out the elements for them. Moving on is the next section here, and these are the stone hieroglyphs. I particularly enjoyed putting these together, and as you can see, they're made to look like ancient stone hieroglyphs, which we can use for the image for your card. And there's a nice little selection in there for you to look through and see what's on there. Again, these aren't done or designed specifically for decoupage. I would raise it up, but I think you'll find that these are hard to decoupage. And after all, not all our cards have to be decoupaged. So that's the papyrus and stone relief. Now we've got the toppers here, and these are just elements which we've got on the CD, and I've put these on so you can just pull them out. I'm just clicking at random here just to show you a brief overview of what you're going to find on there. So I just think they make rather nice images that you can then use on the card as various toppers. And returning back, we've also got the decoupage elements as well. We have King Tut. No card would be complete without him on there, and they come in both large and small. It's on the return key. So really this is just concentrating on just elements which I think sort of sum up the Egyptian period. So very, very simple decoupage on there for you. And we've got our bags and envelopes. They follow the normal format in which you'll print it out, and then let's just show you here. With the A6, you'll print this element out on your printer, turn it over and print the backing paper of your choice on the other side, and then cut out and make the envelopes. And last but not least, we've got the hieroglyphs here. Now these are pre-written for you, cartouches. We've got happy birthday, best wishes with love, in this sort of Egyptian style writing. So that's all done for you. These aren't text editable, and we've got them in that format as well if you want to run them along. But there are text editable ones where it says type your message. Simply click on and you'll be able to type in your own particular message on the cartouche there. And we also have a large and a small one here, and in another submenu we have hieroglyphic. So if you just type something in, now these are based on genuine hieroglyphic symbols, but it won't translate. So if you type your name in, an ancient Egyptian wouldn't actually be able to read your name. It is just a little bit of fun, but it is rather good. And it's another little element that you can use for your card making. So overall you can see then that we've got a lovely mixture of elements here to make some beautiful cards based on ancient Egypt. Once again, thank you for watching.